life over the years, many of them there in the room today. "Speech!" called out Gary, who was brandishing a fresh pint of lager in one hand and a half-empty glass in the other. That was the trouble with these sorts of events. They tended to deteriorate rather quickly once the petty cash came out. "Yes, speech!" echoed Samira, smoky eyes freshly made up with liquid eyeliner flicks. She began to chant, "Maggie! Maggie! Maggie!" Gary began bongoing the bar top. Even Colin, in an uncharacteristically sociable move, perhaps owing to the fizzy drink, clapped his hands in encouragement. What was a girl to do? Maggie put down her glass and surveyed the room. "First of all, I'd just like to say thank you, everyone, for coming along this evening. It was such a wonderful surprise." She lied through her teeth and pointedly averted Pam's gaze. Pam had just polished off a Bacardi and Coke and was on the cusp of melodrama. "It's no secret I've been counting down the days to this moment, and that's no reflection on any of you. Some of us have been colleagues for more years than I care to remember, some for only months, but we've all been part of the family serving this fine community most of us call home, and for that, I feel immensely proud." A round of applause swept through the room, and Maggie truly hoped the sentiment had struck home, though secretly she had her doubts. The new hybrid model of working from both home and office, since the disastrous days of COVID, had changed something fundamental, something human about the job. She stole another quick glance at Samira and wondered how she was faring. It was now 3 months since she'd found the poor lass sobbing her heart out in the ladies' loos and taken her off to a private meeting room for a strong cup of tea and a chat. Samira had hardly been in the office since then, and such inquiries were not for the likes of a work email. A movement caught Maggie's eye, and glancing at the doorway, her spirits soared. Even after 41 years of marriage, Jeff could still surprise her. His own retirement party wasn't for another fortnight, which meant he must have left work early today. He still had his bicycle cuffs on, had come straight from the station. He grinned and gestured for her to continue. "Here he is," called out Gary, "the lucky guy who gets to enjoy Maggie's Victoria sponge for eternity, whilst the rest of us are starved of cake." Maggie laughed along with the others. "I can assure you right now, I have absolutely no intention of spending our retirement slaving in a kitchen. We have plans, my dear, and most of them include far-flung shores and a taste for new experiences. Not a Victoria sponge in sight." On cue, Jeff moved to stand at Maggie's side. She smiled up at him. "Didn't expect to see you here, love." "Wouldn't have missed it for the world," he replied, eyes sparkling with pride. "There you go, Jeff," said Pam, plonking a glass in his hand. "Let's have a toast. Then I want to hear all about this fancy camper van of yours." Jeff slung an arm around his wife and beamed as glasses all around were raised. "To Maggie and Jeff, and a retirement filled with adventure." Chapter 1. Maggie. Now. "Granny, why are you wearing a Santa hat and a bikini?" asked Alice, forearms flat on the table, bottom in the air. "I think the question should be, why are you wearing a bikini, Mother?" retorted Hannah, craning her neck to see the picture her daughter was looking at. "I'll have you know your father said I looked as good in a two-piece there as I had back on our honeymoon, so watch your cheek," chided Maggie. Hannah gave a woeful sigh. "You always did have a good bum. Why couldn't I have inherited your bum? Mine's like a flat cushion, only no amount of plumping gives it any more bounce." "All bottoms are lovely, darling. Isn't that the message we're going for these days?" "It most certainly is," agreed Hannah, giving her daughter a light tap on hers. "Sit down properly, my darling. You'll wear the knees out on your school tights." Maggie pointed to the photo.